Alright, now we're good. Welcome to Dragon Quest. So I was playing Arcana last time and talking about how much time this game consumed of my early childhood. So let's check it out for a bit. This is Dragon Warrior 3, Dragon Quest 3 in Japan. And here we go. Here's the intro animation. It doesn't get much more ridiculous than this. A protracted battle on the rim of a volcano. Complete with a severed wing that continues to twitch. It's pretty amazing. Anyway. Well, let's begin a new quest. And fastest message speed. Oh wait. Nah, whatever. Yup. Now, I had played Dragon Quest 1, but I never played the second one when I first played this. I've played 2 on Game Boy. But honestly, 2 was kind of the one that most people missed. Our first job is to go visit the king. Yep, so the animation there was Ortega, the main character's father. And apparently, we have petitioned to follow in his footsteps. We gotta fight the Archfiend Baramos, who has been building his power in secret, known only to the royalty here. There we go. So this is the first... Well, no, I guess it wasn't the first. I mean, you know, in Final Fantasy, formation has an effect too, so... So the first step is to go build a party. Now, the recommended party is Soldier, Pilgrim, Wizard. The Soldier is a weapon and armor heavy physical attack and defense class. The Pilgrim was a priest in later translations. It was, I guess, cut out of this version. Yeah, this guy will tell us. Soldier, Pilgrim, Wizard. And he's drunk. So whenever you change party, it saves for you. And the names are determined randomly by, basically by your name. Man. It's been so long since I played it the first time, but Glenard was my first soldier, and Pilgrim was... Gosh, I don't remember the Pilgrim's name. And then the wizard was Matthias, I believe. That was a long time ago. And since this is just a one-off, I guess we'll just grab these three and go check out what's going on. Elucidus. So if you don't like these guys, you can make your own characters. Up here, the guy at this desk will make new characters for you. Alright, with that, we've got everybody. Let's, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Formation! There we go. And this should be the optimal formation to beat the game as easily as possible. Pretty much. So we don't get a whole lot of cash to start, so it's mainly just buy a couple of medical herbs. And that'll do it. And there's that, man, that screen flicker. The engine that they used to run the view in this game can't handle more than 4 sprites on a line, or more than 4 character sprites on a line. Each character sprite consists of 4 smaller sprites, I think, if I remember correctly. So this was back in the day when grinding was a very important part of any RPG player, or any RPG play. And in the area right around Eliahan, we face mainly black ravens and slimes. Easy stuff. We can take about 2 of them out per turn when we start out. Man, one of the first import CDs I bought was a orchestral soundtrack to this game. Oh, so good. So our quest for now is to, quote-unquote, defeat Baramos, but obviously we're a long way from there. The question is, what are we going to have to do to get there? What's the immediate thing that we need to do? And... yes. Oh, by the way. Yeah, that's not what I'm trying to do. So that includes a day-night cycle, which was pretty new at the time, at least for console games. And if we go back into the town at night, which we'll do in a minute, there we go. Oh, someone leveled up. So soldiers level up really quickly, and they get lots of strength, and lots of vitality, and lots of hit points. So they're a pretty good class. But as you can see, at night, everything's different. All the people have switched off to nighttime patterns, and this indeed becomes important later in the game. Here's this guy. Yep. It's funny they call it an eatery, but the guy there is still exhibiting standard issue drunkenness. It's like, censorship of Nintendo games back in the day was really, really shaky. Like, they would leave things in that are really significant hints as to what they're actually censoring, such that it's like, well, they changed the word tavern to eatery, but the dude is still drunk. So most shops close at night. I think even the castle closes at night. It's a nice background color there. But yeah. No audiences during the night. And if we go home, they're adventuring companions, Mom. Shut up. Yeah, so there's grandfather. Come on. Okay, so... yeah, so Elihan, then there was war, and then the Traveler was closed off. So, Elihan is currently, isolated, basically. And so it looks like opening up the travel door is going to be the next major step. Another thing is that we got all these doors that we can't open yet. We need to be able to open some doors, it looks like. Although it's not certain yet that you need to open those doors to get to the... whatever. There's a cave on the promontory on the other side of the continent. That guy tells you that night happens. Tower of Najima. And you're not supposed to know about the Archfiend, lady. Yep. So Elihan is just a tiny continent. Lots of places to visit in the world as we will eventually go around. No, as you might expect, we will end up seeing most of the world on our way around to fight Baramos. So right now the party's pretty fragile. Like, you know, we get pretty badly damaged after only 3 or 4 fights. Sartreuse can only cast heal like twice. Now in the Super Nintendo and Game Boy versions, Game Boy Color versions of this game, every character had a personality trait that would change depending on what you did in the game. And that would affect stat building, so it was kind of a fight to make sure that you had good personality traits for your characters. Yeah, I'm used to... The funny thing about the message speed thing is that if you select the slowest speed, it can go as fast as you can tap the A button. I chose 1, so I don't even need to be tapping the A button, but I keep doing it just out of habit. So, the hero class levels up extremely slowly. Well, not extremely slowly, but moderately slowly. And that was a really bad level. Ah, whatever. We're level 2. They said that the town of Reeve is over this way, so let's go check it out. We should be able to make it there safely now. We'll start to meet new enemies as we get further away from Eliahead. Yep. I think that my first pilgrim was Virgil or something like that. I don't remember. Gosh, I wish I could remember. But it's not just... So, like, in Dragon Quest II, the name that you choose basically determines the name of the 2 party members that you eventually get. But it takes a while to get the party members in Dragon Warrior 2, so... But in this one, there seems to be some randomness to it, because I think I've played the game several times with the same main character name and gotten slightly different results. Yep. Suspicious things in the overworld. There's a cave in the forest south of the village that connects to the Tower of Najima. So that guy seems to think that we need to get the Thieves' Key. Pushable objects. I mean, none of this stuff was really new at the time, so... There's no need to exaggerate it or anything like that, but it's a pretty decent game. Let's see. So, interesting thing is that some item shops sell some weapons and armor, so there's a lot of variety there. And he's got some good stuff over here. Some more leather armor. Training suit would be if I was using a fighter, martial artist, basically. And this is the suspicious thing that they were talking about. But we're gonna wait until we get a little bit stronger before we go in there. I keep tapping the A button, and I really don't need to. Right. Another cool thing is that you can change your party on the fly, and in fact you have to later on in the game. Whoa! That's a lot of damage. We may see it. Nope, maybe not. Nightfall. One measly slime appears. Oh, whoa. This is a... Oh, right. Yikes. Hopefully we can get through this without too much damage. We may see the thing that I'm trying to show off. Nope. Not yet. Maybe one more fight. That's actually a pretty tough fight there. That was dangerous. I'm trying to show... So this was kind of cool. When one of your character's hit points gets low... Come on. I can't believe this. Come on. Show it. Thank you! Yeah. So, it does a palette swap. And it's a complete palette swap because all of the white stuff turns green. So there's a couple of different colors. Green means basically injured. Gosh. There's a reddish-orange color that means that someone in the party is dead. It's kind of useless because when someone in the party is dead, their icon turns into a walking ghost. And there's also a color for if you're poisoned, which I think is not the same green. Might be something else. We'll find out eventually. Yeah, so there's a couple of different versions of this game, and they're all good. Here's the cave on the promontory that they were talking about. Uh-oh. So Blaze costs 2 MP, which means we have 8 more castings of it. But both Glennard and the hero are able to knock out a horned rabbit with one hit, generally. Sartreuse has 13 MP now, which means 4 castings of heal, I think? 3 MP a pop? It's kind of scary that I memorized most of these spell costs and things, but that's what happens when you play these games as a young kid. All this stuff gets memorized, and you never lose it, ever again. So a cool thing that's going on, that's happening in this game that you can't really see from the quote-unquote top, is that the enemies spawn with slightly different like hit points and stats. So like, I remember the map that came with this game when it was, you know, the cartridge. Basically, the map said that the numbers that it gave are estimates, and that's true. That's not so bad. And you can see it happen. Sometimes the slime will have 8 hit points, sometimes the slime will have 9 hit points, sometimes it will have 7 hit points. Which is a pretty cool feature. It adds a little bit of uncertainty. What do we get? Medical herb. So, almost garbage. And there we go. Oh boy, more levels. The menus in the NES version are kinda clunky. But frankly, pretty much all RPG menus are clunky at this time. Sargers did some damage there. Eight points of MP, wow. Let's cast Blaze a couple more times, why not? Yeah. The thing I gotta say about this game is that I really like the world that they put together. It's surprisingly detailed for such an old game, and there's a lot going on. There's a lot to do. It is definitely one of my favorite games. So, Wayfarer's Clothes. I think it's worse than leather armor. And so the only person that could possibly use it is Elucidus. So let's check him out. Can he equip it? He can. Alright. You know what? I should probably turn back. I don't have any Wings of Wyvern. And so, we definitely don't have enough strength to go all the way through this cave to the end and then come back. So I think I'll turn around, head to town, maybe up our equipment a little bit. One thing you gotta manage in this game, in the NES version at least, is your inventories, because every character gets 8 slots, of which 4 will typically be filled with equipment. Then the other 4, well, good luck. Is it 8 slots? I don't want to talk to anyone. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think it's 8 slots per person, with up to 4 for equipment. So you can drop items off. When we were at the eatery, you saw the merchant-looking guy with a treasure chest in this area. That's the bank. You can drop off items there. Quest items are almost free to drop off and pick up. Other items cost a fee based on the value of the item to pick back up. So you can drop off as much as you want, but, yeah, if you want it back, it'll cost you. I made a mistake of dropping an item off there, and it was like a really valuable item that I couldn't use, but, like, yeah, eventually I was like, oh, maybe I can use that now, and then I went to pick it up, and it's like, this will cost you 10,000 gold pieces, and it's like, what? But I went through a whole dungeon for that. Oh well. I didn't realize you could get a whatchamacallit hit on the top of a staircase. I may not have a whole lot more steam in me for tonight. Maybe I'll make a habit of playing this game. This is a long game. If I were to play through it, it would probably take longer than Secret of Mana did. Especially considering all the grinding that's necessary. But I figured it's a really good game. Everybody should get a taste of it. So if you watched it and you want to give it a shot, find a copy. It's fantastic. You won't regret it. If you like old school RPGs. Okay, what do we want to do? So we've got a decent amount of cash. Let's get a leather shield. There, and another leather shield. For me. And... dot. I think that's it for now. What does Glenard have? He has a club. So, like, his next upgrade is a copper sword. The main character starts with some pretty decent equipment. Copper sword and leather armor is the best stuff you can get in this town. Alright. We'll throw that on. Club, leather armor, leather shield. It says non-equipped, which is kind of weird. I think it's supposed to be none-equipped. Or it could be non, but then it would need a hyphen. I don't know, whatever. So an interesting thing in this game, at least I thought it was interesting when I first played it, was selling stuff, they pay you 3/4 of its value instead of half. Back when, you know, Final Fantasy was always half, right? A lot of RPGs around that time it was half. But this one was 3/4, and that was kind of cool because it lets you shift your equipment around a little bit faster. They're adventuring companions. Yeah, I don't have a lot more steam, so let's go visit the king. We'll look around the castle a little bit. Then we'll save, and we'll call it a night. There's a lot of stuff to do in the castle as well. And it's kind of nice, it gives you things that you have to come back to do. Like, I'll show you. Hold on. So obviously we have to come back when we get the Thieves' Key soon for that guy. Yep. All simple locks can be easily opened with the Thieves' Key. Yep. Bakor is in jail. So each character gives you a little clue as to what you need to do. But this door, we won't get a key for this door for a little while. She's a little, overly enamored with the princess. Here's the dungeon. I think. It's been a long time since I played this. To do it through iron bars. So this guy's Bakor. He made the Thieves' Key, and the Thieves' Key got stolen by an old man in the tower. And there's a door that needs a key. Hypothetically, if this guy would walk over to the door, we could talk to him, but I don't want to just sit around waiting for him, because, I mean, what the heck, right? Yep. So there's a connection between the Promontory Cave and the tower. And that little place that we went into real quick also is a path to the tower. So there's a couple of different ways you can get there. And I wanted to talk to the king to save. I forgot. This actually might be faster. Ugh. Yep. And saving your game is just as simple as talking to any piece of royalty. He tells you how much experience you need for leveling up. Then asks if you want to save. And asks if you want to quit. And then he says the first person in the party's name instead of the hero. Anyway. So that is Dragon Quest III. Whoa! It doesn't normally do that. Interesting. Well, whatever. Alright. Thanks for watching. Catch you all later.